Kumusta kayo mga kaibigan? Kumusta ang mga countrymen ko, mga kababayan ko dito po sa Malaysia? Ito po si Nico Fabian. Nandito na naman tayo sa programa natin NikTok, The Real Talk with Nico. And today is July 12 na po, Saturday. And I hope you will be enjoying or you will enjoy this weekend holidays natin to. Saturday and Sunday. And welcome sa inyong lahat. Ito si Nico Fabian. Once again, inviting all of you. Salamat pagi, salamat patan, salamat malam to each and every one of you dito sa Malaysia, dyan po sa Pilipinas. And lahat kayo po, mga overseas Filipino workers sa mga iba-ibang nasyon. Sa mga iba-ibang nasyon ngayon. And today, ang topic natin is more on, I would like to dedicate this program, itong episode natin for July 12 to no less than ang former, two times Prime Minister of Malaysia, and I'm referring to Dr. Mahathir Mohamad, who turned 100 years old, 100 years old po, last Thursday, July 10. He was born July 10, 1925, and last Thursday, he celebrated his birthday, the 100 years birthday po. And still kicking, still active both in his personal life and of course public service. Hanggang ngayon po, he's still very active, although hindi kagaya noon dahil po he is already 100 years old. And later on, I will be sharing with you some footages about Dr. Mahathir Mohamad, the former Prime Minister of Malaysia. Kumusta ang buhay niya po now that he's already 100 years old. 100 years old. Sa mundo na ito po, there is one country, if I'm not mistaken, and I'm sure I'm not wrong, now there is one country wherein ang dami po, mga centennial people po sa lugar nila, and I'm referring to Japan. If you notice, ang Japan, maraming talaga mga tao doon po, no? A lot of people, senior citizens, super senior citizens in Japan who reach the age of 100 years old. Why? Because of the kind of intakes of food they are taking po. And of course, they are very conscious on their health. And in the Philippines, if I'm not also mistaken, we have super senior citizens like former Senator Juan Ponce Enrile. I don't know if he already touched 100. And we also have the former First Lady of the Philippines, and that is the wife of a spouse of the late Ferdinand Marcos Sr., si First Lady, former First Lady of the Philippines, Imelda Marcos po, also reaching 100 years old po. But the difference is, if you look at them, if you compare between Dr. Mahathir Mohamad and really Imelda, now si Dr. Mahathir Mohamad is still very active po. He do speeches, he entertain people every day, he meets people every day, and he do a lot of writings and reading. And he's very conscious on his health po. And that is the reason why si Dr. Mahathir Mohamad, is still very active, healthy, even at the age of 100 years old, which he turned 100 last Thursday, July 10. So, okay, without further ado, let me share you this footage about Dr. Mahathir. Dr. Mahathir. Dito po, let's watch and listen to this video. And I would like to again extend my belated happy birthday. Belated happy birthday or Salamat Hari Jadi to a former president, former Prime Minister of Malaysia, to Dr. Mahathir Mohamad. Very popular ito po because he became the Prime Minister for quite a long time during this, the time of the late former president of the Philippines, si Ferdinand Marcos Sr. And of course, you talk about Indonesia. Yun po ang grupo nila. And anyway, let's listen to this footage po.
Enduring political figure Dr. Mahathir Mohamad has now become one of the world's oldest living former national leaders. This, as he's now touched the age of 100. The messages, of course, poured in from across Malaysia and indeed the rest of the world, where Mahathir is hailed as a moderate voice who dared to criticize the Western power structures. Now, Mahathir's political influence may have diminished after his 2022 electoral defeat, but his voice still remains loud in national debate. So let's take a look at some of the biggest turning points in Mahathir's long and enduring political career. In 1981, he became the Prime Minister, launching an era of rapid industrialization and growth and strongman style of leadership. One of the biggest flashpoints came in 1998 when he sacked his deputy Anwar Ibrahim, triggering the reform movement and decades of political rivalry. After retiring in 2003 as the country's longest-serving leader, he staged a stunning comeback in 2018, returning to power at the age of 92 and toppling Najib Razak's scandal-plagued government. But his second stint was short-lived and was ended by a coalition infighting in 2020. 2 years later, in 2022, he lost his parliamentary seat, the first electoral defeat for him in over 5 decades. But despite their political differences, Prime Minister Anwar Ibrahim offered a warm message wishing Mahathir well-being, peace of mind and strength at the age of 100. He might be away from corridors of power, but he still casts a big influence over Malaysian society.
So long as I can function, I want to function. I want to behave almost as if I'm not getting old. I try to live the same life that I lived when I was younger. I work, I come to office, I attend functions and all that. And I think being active is what keeps me alive. Make use of your body and mind, then it will function. You fail to make use of your body and mind, it deteriorates. It becomes weaker and weaker, and soon your age makes you unable to function.
That's it. Tun Dr. Mahathir Mohamad, that twice he became Prime Minister of Malaysia for two times. And he started his political life as early as 1960s. And until now, 2025, is still very active, both in his private life and as well as public service po, no? Public service. He entertains people every day, and according to him, it is very important that we, in order to have a long life, we should make sure that our mind and our heart, our body, is functioning every day. So that's the only way that we will be able to have a long life. And of course, very particular in the food intake. Food intake. So another footage that I'm going to share with you now is an interview with Tun Dr. Mahathir Mohamad about he was asked questions about the politics, about his personal life and how he is doing things now po. Let's listen to this.
People think because of my experience that I know something that may be useful to them. So many people come to see me, some for personal reason, but mostly it is for political reasons. I can't imagine just sitting there doing nothing and people ask me to do. People come to me asking me for some advice, asking me to do certain things. People think because of my experience that I know something that may be useful to them. So many people come to see me, some for personal reason, but mostly it is for political reason, because I've been in politics more than 80 years. So I have gathered quite a lot of information and experience, and they want to tap my brain for my experience. I'm okay. I mean, if you think it is useful to have me answer certain questions, I will try. When we formulated Vision 2020, the country was growing at a very good rate, 7-8%, even more than that. And we believe that the strategy, the planning was right. But the others took over, but they did not carry out the same plan, the same strategy. They switched to other things. And because of that, the 17 years was wasted, because they were not focusing on growing the economy. They were focusing on making full use of their position as prime ministers. You know, at one time, Malaysia was described as an Asian tiger. And of course, we were very proud of it. We became well known to the world. At one time, people did not know Malaysia, but they realized Malaysia was doing very well. Now, when Najib took over, from being an Asian tiger, we became a kleptocracy, a country run by people with criminal principles which are not acceptable, immoral and criminal. And we cannot be proud of being a kleptocracy. He travels all over the world, and each time he goes abroad, he says he has now brought in or received a proposal for billions of dollars of foreign direct investment. But we see nothing. We don't see any foreign direct investment. Yes, there are a few, but where are the $680 billion worth of foreign direct investment? For me, the more important thing is what happens on the ground. Does it happen or not? You say foreign direct investment is coming in. We have to see. Are there the factories? No, he regards me as the opposition. And even if I make a suggestion that may be useful, because it comes from me, that will be rejected. You know, I am persona non grata as far as the government is concerned. Anybody who comes close to me gets punished. Malaysia has got 3 different races, and nobody can say Malaysia is unstable. We are stable, we are growing. There will be differences between us, but we know how to handle the differences. I think Malaysia should be studied for that achievement, that with 3 different races, different religion, different culture, yet the country is relatively stable, more stable than most countries which are single ethnic. You have to remain active. You must not do nothing, sit down and just do nothing. that is bad for your health. You see, the body and the mind functions well if you use the body and the mind. If you don't, the body tends to regress, becomes weaker. If you don't use your brain, it begins to regress. It begins to forget things, cannot remember anything, cannot recognize things, and all that. So I keep my mind active all the time. You know, being interviewed by you is one of the activities that I am involved in. And I read, I write, I talk with people, I give lectures. So keep the brain active all the time.
All right, that's Dr. Mahathir Mohamad, as what he said, keep the brain active. Your brain and your body should always be active, because if you don't do that, then slowly you will decline. Slowly you will decline. Yan po ang advice ni Dr. Mahathir Mohamad. Mahathir Mohamad. Okay, let me show you another footage po. No? I am sharing this footages of Dr. Mahathir Mohamad dahil po, it is because he just celebrated last Thursday, July 10, his 100 years birthday po. Centennial na po si Dr. Mahathir Mohamad, who became twice Prime Minister of Malaysia and still very active until today when it comes to his social life, politics, and of course, his personal life po. So there was an interview, is it the commentary, documentation of Tun Mahathir Mohamad, wherein they are talking about him, the Prime Minister, former Prime Minister of Malaysia. Let's listen to this po. Let's listen.
Now, Dr. Mahathir isn't just Malaysia's longest-serving prime minister. Dr. M, as he's known, also turns 100 years old today. Now, he's been transformational, the father of modernization, industrial Malaysia. He's also been divisive, railing against the West, as you just heard, defying the IMF, championing Asian values, and inspiring the developing world. And Dr. M is still shaping debates about governance, development, as well as race relations, as CNBC's JP Hong has been finding out. Good morning.
Good morning, Martin. And it's a big feat already to turn 100 years old. But you're also talking about someone who's regarded as arguably the most influential Malaysian politician in that country's history. And for good reason, because he is, as you mentioned, called the father of modernization. Take a look at this one chart just to show how far Malaysia actually went in his first 22 years as prime minister between 1981 to 2003. And you'll see that Malaysia's GDP per capita jumped up from less than $1,000 per person to about $4,000 during this time. And again, this was part of the transformative actions that he enacted to try and modernize Malaysia's economy. Among them, trying to shift away from heavy government spending to and letting the private sector drive more of the growth, cutting down the government's debt significantly, and also fostering what is called a look east policy, which depended on Japan as a role model to foster more investments and also foster more industrialization, which led to this spectacular growth. He then pivoted in 1991 towards what was called Wawasan 2020 or Vision 2020, where he aimed for Malaysia to achieve high industrialized nation status by 2020, something which he did later belatedly said something that Malaysia fell short of. Now, we also know that he steered Malaysia through one of their worst times during the Asian financial crisis. It was this time when we started to see Mahathir Mohamad become a little bit more controversial as well, Martin, because he did issue and turn down offers from the IMF and external parties for debt. He actually enacted very controversial capital controls during that time and pegged the ringgit and also lashed out at foreign investors whom he blamed and who speculated and whom he blamed for this particular decline. Now, he did step down in 2003, but came back in 2018 after the 1MDB scandal to become prime minister at 92 years of age, but was then ousted in 2020 when his coalition actually was dissolved during that time. He still remains quite active, though, in social media. By last count, we did see that his influence has not waned. He still has about 1.3 million followers on X or Twitter, as we've noted, and this is where he has been rather active, actually, at least speaking about what Malaysia's future should look like, and some of his views that are both progressive and also a bit divisive, as was mentioned a while ago. And there's really not much more to say, but happy birthday, Dr. Mahathir Mohamad.
Yeah, but I have to say, though, and yeah, this is true, right? Many happy returns, but among his probably most controversial policies is affirmative action. How has that changed or not over the years?
Well, it seems that this is still going to be a cornerstone or a landmark, at least. And I think the fact that he issued this and actually pushed for this very vociferously, we have to remember before he became Prime Minister, Martin, he was the Minister of Education as well, where he started to lay out some of the foundations of the affirmative action for Malays. And some do argue that it really didn't do much to uplift and to help and to uplift the plight and the mentality of Malaysians as he actually has laid out before. So again, and it's raised a lot of controversy because we know that some of the minority populations, the Chinese and the Indian populations in Malaysia, they haven't been as happy with regards to some of the impediments and what was viewed as some of the unfair advantages that they viewed the ethnic Malays got. So again, this is now going to be something very difficult to change, because if you go against the affirmative action policies, you might actually lose your political clout and status. So again, it's the tone he set actually for Malaysian politics, and why this is so central now to keeping your political power there.
Alright, that's it. Yun po about Tun Dr. Mahathir Mohamad. For your information, Tun Dr. Mahathir Mohamad, when he was the Prime Minister of Malaysia, he was the one who helped realize this Petronas Twin Tower, the tallest tower in the world during those days po, no? During those days, ang Twin Tower. Hanggang ngayon, it is still very popular. A lot of tourists, whenever they go to or they visit Malaysia, particularly Kuala Lumpur, they go and visit, take some selfies, some pictures dyan po sa Twin Tower of Malaysia po. And that is the project of former Prime Minister Tun Dr. Mahathir Mohamad. I still remember during the late 80s when I was a young reporter here in Malaysia po, I used to cover whenever he comes and visit to Sabah. No? To Sabah, be it during election campaign periods, during launching of development projects for Sabah, and he's well loved before, no? During his early days when he was the Prime Minister po. I still remember one thing, when I was covering Dr. Mahathir Mohamad, when somebody questioned about the freedom of the press. So Dr. Mahathir Mohamad just told us, freedom of the press depends on how you define it, how this particular country define the freedom of the press. He said too much freedom given to the press, it would mean it will destroy the country. But if you also don't, curtail the freedom of the press, it will not do good to the country. So he said it all depends on how this particular country like Malaysia define freedom of the press. And this is the reason why he said there are certain things the media are being prohibited to do for the benefit of the country po. It is not that he's trying to curtail the freedom of the press of Malaysians, but he said it all depends on how you define freedom of the press. We have seen many countries, both Asian countries and European countries po. Too much freedom, then you will encounter unnecessary problems, confusions among the government and the people. So yun po, I still remember during my early days when I was covering Tun Dr. Mahathir Mohamad every time he visits Sabah. And that's one thing that I remember when he explained to us why his government is very strict when it comes to dissemination of information to the public, All right. So, okay, I told you earlier about Tun Mahathir that he is very active when it comes to issues, not only in Malaysia's related Malaysia, but also issues related to the welfare and interests of the world. So, during a recent interview with him, he was asked about the ongoing war between Russia and Ukraine, between Israel and Iran. Let's listen to his comment to his comment regarding this issue. Hold on, hold on.
Know what's going to happen because at any time.
You hold on. All right. Let's listen to his answer to the question.
Well, going to happen because at any time at all, you can be attacked or attempts made to invade your country. This is what we are seeing, and it is frightening because this is carried out by big powers. They have the means, and they may just invade and do what they like because they have so much power. We have on the one hand Russia invading Ukraine. That is a preemptive move. But now we see America, without declaring war against Iran, actually bombarding Iran. So we are not safe anymore. We cannot say that we are at peace and therefore we will not be attacked. But even if we are at peace, if we annoy certain powerful countries, they may take action against us, violent action, and killing people, destroying towns and the like.
All right, that's it. That's the reaction of Dr. Mahathir Mohamad when it comes to the ongoing war between Russia and Ukraine, Iran and Israel, and so forth and so on, including this problem in between Taiwan and China. Okay, let me share you another footage also related to what is happening in the world now when we talk about war. Let's listen to this.
Wants to have an excuse to go to war. During the last war, of course, the attack by the Japanese at Pearl Harbor was the excuse. Yes. In the First World War, there was the sinking of the Berengeria, the ship, and that was also an excuse for the U.S. to go to war. U.S. is the biggest producer of arms. Their arms business is very big. If there is no war, nobody buys arms. So they seem to like wars because with wars they can do business.
A lot of profits,
For example, they purposely visited Taiwan. There was no tension. No, there was some tension between China and Taiwan. China claims Taiwan is a part of China, but China did not invade Taiwan. They could have, but they did not, because Taiwan was useful to China. Taiwan as it is, China benefits from the technology, the investment coming from Taiwan. But America wants Taiwan to confront China, and this lady went to Taiwan, and since then tension has increased, and Taiwan now has to arm itself for invasion by China, and Taiwan has to buy weapons from the U.S. But until now, there is no invasion. I think the U.S., everywhere that it goes, it wants to see violence. It has to attack Iraq because of Iraq having weapons of mass destruction and all that. Later on, it was found that it was not true. So we are fighting wars, killing people for reasons which are not really justifying us the action.
All right, that's it. You heard from Dr. Mahathir Mohamad, the former Prime Minister of Malaysia for 2 times po. Obviously, it sounds that he's still not not supporting United States po, no? From the very beginning po. From the very beginning. So, all right, that's it po. Yun latest updates sa tungkol kay Prime Minister or Tun M. We used to call him Tun M po, no? Dr. Muhammad Mahathir Mohamad po, si Dr. M. We call him Dr. M. Fondly called by many Malaysians, including those who are residing already, foreigners residing in Malaysia. We know him by the name of Dr. M. Dr. M. All right, once again, I would like to say a belated happy birthday. Happy birthday to Dr. M. And salamat hari jadi to Dr. M. So this time around, before we conclude my program, July 12 po, I would like to share with you ang mga updates, some updates regarding this, sabihin natin, issues of Tatay Digong at The Hague. Diyan po sa detention center of the International Criminal Court in The Hague, Netherlands po. And si Inday Sara Duterte, the Vice President of the Philippines, who is also the daughter of Tatay Digong, again visited her father, and may konting interview done po, and he gave some statements for the consumption of the supporters of Duterte, supporters of Tatay Digong, supporters of Inday Sara Duterte, supporters of the Dutertes, and PDP Laban, and of course, for the information of all the Filipinos who are concerned about the welfare and health of Tatay Digong. You hold on, ha?
Ako sa ating mga kababayan.
Hold on. All right. Saan na yun? I'll try to check. I will show you one picture po. This is the picture. Viral yan po ngayon. Viral in social media. See? This being circulated in social media. Because as what I reported and other social media vloggers as well as the mainstream media in the Philippines now quoting the Vice President Inday Sara Duterte, the wife of Tatay Digong, si Madam Elizabeth, and the common law wife of Tatay Digong, si Madam Hanilet, as well as ang mga anak niya po, si Congressman Pulong Duterte, acting mayor of Davao City ngayon, si Buster Duterte, and the youngest sisters nila po, si Veronica or Kitty Duterte po. They all agreed, they mentioned that Tatay Digong is losing weight. And unfortunately, lumabas na ito pong picture po. Inday Sara Duterte, in his most recent statement issued dyan po sa The Hague, after visiting Tatay Digong yesterday, he said that this picture is AI. Fake ito po. Fake ito po. No? This is a fake picture. In fact, ICC never gave them any authority to take picture of Tatay Digong inside the detention center po. So, saan ito galing? We don't know. And the reason, what are the reasons or what is the reason why they are putting up this kind of picture, we also don't know po. But for the sake of everybody po, this is a fake picture. Fake news ito po. AI ito po. The body is from another patient, and then they just changed the face of Tatay Digong. So, warning na po, don't believe po. This is a fake picture and do not believe po. Okay, I'll try to see, I'll try to get kung saan ba yun ang when he mentioned about the fake news po. Fake news.
Dahil kaninang umaga, ma'am, meron po
Nandito po,
nagpadala
let's listen. Let's listen to Inday Sara Duterte when asked to comment on this picture po, on this fake picture. Let's listen to Inday Sara Duterte.
Dahil kaninang umaga, ma'am, meron pong nagpadala sa akin ng photo na mukhang nasa hospital bed si dating Pangulong Rodrigo Duterte at meron siyang hospital tag, dalawang band sa kamay niya. So, hindi po totoo yung photo na yon. Hindi totoo yung photo na yon. Malamang edited yung photo na yon. Ibang pasyente yon. Inano lang nila yung mukha ni dating Pangulong Duterte. Wala po siya sa hospital ng detention unit. Nandun po siya sa regular wing ng detention unit. At kanina, naglalakad naman siyang mag-isa, albeit may dala-dala siyang tungkod. Oo, nagdadala siyang tungkod. So clearly, wala siyang sakit na, kumbaga, kailangan niya maging bedridden.
So, very clear po. It is a fake picture. Fake picture po. Dito po, this is a fake one, don't believe. This fake one. He's not he's not bedridden sa hospital. He is dyan po sa room niya po, detention center sa ICC po. And this morning, according to Inday Sara Duterte, he even spent time walking around po dyan sa area o sa detention center ng ICC po. So once again, I would like to inform everybody na this photo is AI. Fake ito po. Don't believe po. Don't believe. And he's not bedridden according to Inday Sara Duterte. Inday Sara Duterte just visited si Tatay Digong po. Just visited Tatay Digong. He came out from the detention center. Nandun mga Filipinos po waiting for her. And she gave some very important statement regarding ang welfare ni Tatay Digong. So, yan po. Fake news yan po. Anyway, let me share you another footage of Inday Sara Duterte wherein she is reminding ang mga supporters ni Inday Sara Duterte, supporters ni Tatay Digong, supporters ng PDP Laban, and everybody, mga Filipinos po. No? Ito po, let's listen ang statement, latest statement of Inday Sara Duterte dyan po sa outside the detention center of the International Criminal Court just few hours ago.
Papasalamat ako sa ating mga kababayan sa patuloy nila na suporta, no? Yung mga pumupunta dito sa Hague at pumupunta dito sa Duterte Park para ipakita ang kanilang suporta. Lahat kayo gumagamit ng sarili ninyong pera para magpakita ng suporta at taus-puso yung pagpapasalamat namin. Wag lang natin kalimutan, no, na ang ipinaglalaban nating lahat ay hindi yung tao, hindi si Pangulong Duterte o hindi si Inday Sara Duterte. Ang pinaglalaban natin dito ay yung bayan natin. Yung injustice at rendition na ginawa nila sa isang Pilipino na kinuha nila sa loob ng ating bansa at hinatid nila dito. At ginastusan pa nila ng gobyerno. Ginastusan ng gobyerno para ihatid ang isang Pilipino dito sa Hague. At huwag natin kalimutan ang mga issue sa bayan natin. Tulad ng blanco sa budget. Napakaraming mga kababayan natin ang tahimik sa blanco na mga budget. At yung pakuha ng pera ng PhilHealth. At yung apparent na pagsisinungaling, iba yung sinasabi ngayong araw na ito, iba ba yung sasabihin bukas, at yung pagkapaako ng mga pangako. Unang-una na yung may tiyang bukas.
Alright, loud and clear ang statement, very loud and clear the statement of Inday Sara Duterte to the Filipinos po. To the Filipinos. So, I think that's it for today. Today is July 12th and it's Saturday. And any other updates that I'm going to receive from the mainstream media in the Philippines, or any information about the welfare and interests of Tatay Digong, I'll make sure that you will be properly informed in my daily program po, which we call NikTok, the Real Talk with Nico. I might not be the first one to break the news, but definitely you will be informed dito po sa programa natin NikTok, the Real Talk with Nico. So with this, once again, I would like to say salamat belated. Salamat Hari Jadi, 100 years to former Prime Minister of Malaysia, si Tun Dr. Mahathir Mohamad. Good health and continue to count your years. Continue. Okay, and at the same time, I would like to extend my well wishes to all those who are celebrating the birthday today, or any other occasions, special occasions that you are celebrating today. I hope that this will be a fruitful, memorable, problem-free celebration po sa inyong lahat. To all my followers, be it in Malaysia, be it in the Philippines, or elsewhere, I would like to say thank you very much for making me a part of your day today. Malaysia, the Philippines, Sabah. God bless us all. And I'll see you in my next episode. Thank you. Bye.